Weak and strong people don't live in different worlds. They live in the same world, make different choices every single day, in moments so small nobody notices them, until the gap becomes impossible to close. Here's what destroys most people. Weakness doesn't feel like weakness. It feels like being reasonable, being realistic, being sensitive, being kind. That's the trap. Because every behavior that keeps you weak comes disguised as a virtue, and every behavior that builds real strength feels wrong at first, uncomfortable, even cruel. Weak people wait for the right moment. Strong people are already moving. Weak people explain what went wrong. Strong people are already fixing it. Weak people need to be understood. Strong people need to be effective. These aren't personality types. They're patterns, daily patterns, that compound silently until two people who started identical end up unrecognizable from each other. At work, you see this in real time. Two people, same title, same team, same year hired. One spends energy explaining every missed deadline, every failed project, every difficult circumstance. The other spends that same energy delivering. 5 years later, one is leading, one is still explaining, not because of talent, because of pattern. In relationships, the gap is quieter, but just as devastating. One person constantly needs reassurance, validation, proof they're not being abandoned. The other brings security, calm, presence. Not because they have no fear, because they stopped outsourcing their stability to other people. That one difference determines everything. Who gets respected, who gets managed. On social media, the contrast is instant. Weak patterns, reacting to criticism, seeking approval in every caption, posting to fill anxiety. Strong patterns, posting with intention, walking away, letting silence answer provocation. Same platform, opposite results. Marcus Aurelius understood this completely. The gap between people isn't external, it starts internal. In which patterns you repeat, which impulses you follow, which discomforts you avoid. Before we go further, tell me in the comments, which weak behavior hits closest to home? Seeking approval, avoiding conflict, or waiting to feel ready? Stay until the end, because I'm going to show you all 7 behaviors, the exact contrast, and the specific replacement for each one, so you can start today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today. Here are the 7 things weak people do that strong people never do. Number 1, weak people seek approval before acting. Strong people decide and move. Weak behavior looks like this. Before any decision, they consult everyone. What do you think? Does this make sense? Am I being crazy? It feels like humility. It's actually fear of ownership, because if everyone approved and it still failed, it's not their fault. That's the hidden payoff of approval seeking, distributed responsibility. Strong people make the decision. They might be wrong. They accept that risk, because they'd rather be wrong moving than right standing still. At work, weak people spend 3 days collecting opinions on an idea. By the time they act, someone else already did. The killer line. Stop asking if it's a good idea. Find out. Number 2, weak people avoid difficult conversations. Strong people have them early. Weak behavior, something feels wrong. They say nothing, drop hints, hope the other person figures it out. Meanwhile, the resentment builds, quietly, until it explodes, not as a conversation, as an attack. Strong behavior. They address it when it's still small. I want to talk about something before it becomes a bigger issue. 30 seconds of discomfort, weeks of clarity. In relationships, every avoided conversation is a withdrawal from trust. Strong people treat hard conversations as maintenance, not confrontation. The killer line. The conversation you keep avoiding is the one running your relationship. Number 3, weak people explain their failures. Strong people extract the lesson and move. Weak. Something goes wrong. Immediate explanation, the circumstances, the external factors, the things nobody could have predicted, all true possibly, all completely useless. Because explanation protects the ego, it doesn't improve the performance. Strong, one question only. What do I do differently next time? That's the entire debrief. At work, weak people spend more energy on the explanation than the lesson. Strong people spend more time on the lesson than the explanation. The killer line. Explanation is ego protection. Analysis is growth. Number 4, weak people react to everything. Strong people respond to what matters. Weak. Someone criticizes them. Instant reaction. Someone disagrees. Immediate engagement. Someone provokes. They take the bait. Every time, their emotional state is controlled by whatever happened 60 seconds ago. That's not living. That's being remote controlled. Strong. They filter before responding. Does this actually affect my life? Does engaging improve anything? Is this person worth my energy? Usually the answer is no, and no answer is the answer. On social media, weak people feed trolls with attention. Strong people starve them with silence. The killer line. Every reaction you give is power you hand over. Number 5, weak people wait for motivation. Strong people act through resistance. Weak. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll go when I'm motivated. I'll do it when the timing is right. The timing is never right. Motivation never arrives on schedule. So they wait and call it patience. It's not patience. It's avoidance with a better name. Strong. They act when they don't feel like it, especially when they don't feel like it, because they learned one thing weak people never accept. Motivation follows action. It doesn't create it. At work, weak people need inspiration to produce. Strong people produce and let momentum create inspiration. The killer line. You don't wait to feel ready. You act until you feel ready. Number 6. Weak people take things personally. Strong people take things informationally. Weak. Criticism of their work feels like criticism of their worth. Rejection of their idea feels like rejection of their intelligence. Silence from someone feels like evidence they're not enough. Everything gets filtered through one question. What does this mean about me? That filter destroys objectivity and makes growth impossible. Because you can't learn from feedback you're too busy being wounded by. Strong. Criticism is data. Rejection is direction. Silence is just silence. The question isn't, what does this mean about me? It's, what does this tell me about the work? In relationships, weak people turn every disagreement into an identity battle. Strong people keep the issue the issue. The killer line. Stop making their feedback about your worth. Make it about your work. Number 7. Weak people shrink to keep peace. Strong people hold position and let others adjust. Weak. Someone is uncomfortable with their boundary. They soften it. Someone pushes back on their decision. They reverse it. Not because they were wrong. Because the discomfort of being challenged feels worse than losing the ground. So they give ground constantly until they have none left. Strong. They hold calmly, without aggression, without endless explanation. I understand you see it differently. I'm staying with my decision. And then they let the other person adjust, rather than adjusting themselves to manage the other person's comfort. At work, weak people move under social pressure. Strong people move under better information. Those are completely different things. One is manipulation, one is leadership. The killer line. Every time you shrink for someone else's comfort, you train them to expect it. If you recognized yourself in at least 4 of these, subscribe. Because what comes next is how to break each pattern permanently. Not through willpower, through replacement. Here's how to permanently shift from weak patterns to strong ones. First, see the pattern clearly. You cannot shift what you cannot name. These behaviors feel normal, feel justified. That's why they persist. So look at the 7. Pick the one that's your default, not the one you do occasionally. The one you always do. Under pressure, under stress. When things go wrong, that one is your starting point. One pattern, not all 7. 1. Second, find the hidden payoff. Every weak pattern pays something. Approval seeking distributes responsibility. Conflict avoidance feels like kindness. Failure explanation protects ego. Reacting feels like passion. Waiting feels like wisdom. Personalizing feels like caring. Shrinking feels like love. Find what yours is paying you. Because until you see the payoff, you'll keep collecting it, even when you know the cost. Third, replace. Don't just remove. You cannot just stop a pattern. You need a replacement. Approval seeking to personal standard. Does this meet my standard? Move. Conflict avoidance to early conversation. Address it small before it becomes large. Failure explanation leads to one question. What do I do differently next time? Reacting to everything leads to 3-second filter. Does this deserve my energy? Waiting for motivation. 2-minute start. Begin. Just begin. Personalizing. Information extraction. What does this tell me about the work? Shrinking. Calm repetition. State position. Hold quietly. Let them adjust. Each replacement is specific. Each one is actionable. Each one builds the stronger pattern, one decision at a time. Fourth, expect the shift to feel wrong. Holding position feels aggressive. Early conversation feels confrontational. Acting without motivation feels mechanical. Not reacting feels like losing. That discomfort is not failure. It's the old pattern fighting back. Old patterns don't die quietly. They produce guilt. They produce the voice that says, just this once, go back to the old way. Don't. That moment, right there, is where the shift actually happens. Not in the easy moments. In that one. Fifth, understand this is cumulative. One better decision doesn't change everything. 30 does. One early conversation doesn't transform a relationship. Consistent early communication does. One action through resistance doesn't build discipline. Repeated action through resistance does. The shift is invisible for a long time. Then suddenly it isn't. And the gap between who you were and who you are becomes impossible to deny. Final truth. Weak and strong are not who you are. They're what you repeatedly do, which means they can change. Not through motivation, not through inspiration, not through wanting to be different, through behaving differently. Starting with one pattern, one replacement, one decision. Made in the next moment, you're tested. Not tomorrow. Not when the timing is better. Not when you feel ready. Strong people don't wait for the right moment. They make the moment right through the choice they make inside it. That choice is available to you. Right now. The only question is whether you'll take it.